Interviewing, either in person or through written narrative, is the primary data collection method I have used in my qualitative studies. When developing the questions and the interview guide for data collection, it is important to remember the type of person participating in the research. For example, are the participants new mothers, healthcare professionals, or post-bariatric surgical patients? In a qualitative study, the goal of data collection is to enter the participants' lived experience with the goal of understanding. The researcher asks questions that focus on the whys and hows of human interaction and behavior, not on the what. The questions should not only ask about something, but invite the participant to engage in the process of exploration and discovery. I begin the interview process with a broad or grand tour style question. This is a provisional item in that it sets up the data collection process and establishes a conversation with the participant, but is not directly related to the research. For example, in the newborn sleep position study, the opening question was, "How is your baby sleeping?" A topic that most new mothers are comfortable talking about. Sometimes in answering this opening question, the mothers shared information about their infant's sleep position or environment, which created a natural transition to the question specific to the data collection procedure. In developing the interview guide, it is important to avoid questions that can be answered with a yes or no, or with a single word or phrase. Starting with a question that is too narrow can introduce bias and inhibit the participant from telling their story. I find the qualitative interview is more like a conversation, and the more the participant is talking and sharing, the more data that is collected. However, the interview guide is important to keep the focus on the phenomena of interest. I also avoid questions that are leading the participant or might make them feel they are being judged. For example, some questions I avoided in the Safe Sleep study were, does your baby always sleep on his back or in his own crib? And do you remember what the nurses taught you about where the baby should sleep before you left the hospital? From my previous work and the evidence in the literature, we know that mothers know the answer to these questions. But the phenomena of interest in this research was what is influencing how their baby is sleeping in their home. Thus, the questions focused on who gave the new mother advice or suggestions about infant sleep. The participants were continually prompted with probes such as, tell me more, and what does that mean to you, to obtain dense and rich data. The opportunity to explore beyond the face value of the question and to enrich the depth of data is one of the advantages of in-person interviewing in a qualitative study.